let me introduce you to one of the biggest, if not the biggest con artist in America right now. One of the biggest globally, but definitely the biggest in America. Have a look at this guy. His name is Zohran Mamdani. And I'm actually a little bit angry at the West. I mean, how come you are falling to these guys? Not once, not twice, but multiple times. Islam has been trying to bring down Western civilization ever since its inception, basically. That's why you had the Crusades. Maybe that's why, because people are not aware of their history. People are not educated about their history. That's why they keep falling to these people. First, it was the Londoners who fell for Sadiq Khan's impersonation of a lefty progressive socialist when he's not. He's an Islamist. And now they're falling for this guy who's masquerading as a progressive lefty woke socialist just to fool the woke lunatics. But he is an Islamist. He's a jihadi. Let me share this story. Look at this. Look at this, guys. This guy is the mayor of New York. Why was he planning to meet with an envoy of Iran? And it hadn't been for Marco Rubio or the State Department, who shut it down, then who knows what they would have spoken about. How is this not treason? He doesn't have the mandate to do any of the crap that he's promising to do. Watch this video. Forget about your feelings about Benjamin Netanyahu, okay? Whether you like him or hate him, it doesn't matter. This guy, look at him. Look at, he's an actor. Look at that look on his face. You know, he's like, oh, I'm acting so angry. This guy is a con artist. He changes his accents. He's an actor.
Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal, the architect of a horrific genocide against
the only genocide where their population has increased. I just don't get it, guys. I just don't get it. This lefty woke propaganda, and these lefty wokes are actually falling for the Islamist propaganda.
The Palestinian people. He is responsible for the killing of more than 73,000 people.
Oh, wow. What a liar. Even Hamas itself has admitted that 30 to 40,000 of them were Hamas's operatives. So the vast majority of the 70,000 people killed were Hamas's foot soldiers. What a disgusting, vile piece of shit this guy is.
For the maiming of tens of thousands of children.
That's what happens.
Those who survive undergo amputation without anesthesia.
That's what happens, unfortunately. This is horrible. I give it to you. That is horrible when all those people who got maimed and without anesthesia, them getting amputated. I get it. This is horrible. That's why your buddies should not have started the war that they could not win.
For the targeting of neonatal hospitals and maternity care centers, denying newborns even the chance to live. For the countless people he starved as he blocked food and humanitarian aid from reaching them.
So even the UN admitted that it was Hamas that was hoarding aid.
The gunning down of hundreds of aid workers and journalists. And just
oh my God, every word is a lie. Even the journalists, the so-called journalists, we've got videos of them wearing presses vests, and they also are holding guns in their hands. So they are part-time journalists. Oh God. Anyway, forget about this clown. Sorry, I wouldn't interrupt. I don't know. I can't. Every word he utters is a lie. I can't play that uninterrupted.
Last month, the UN confirmed that Palestinian children continue to be deliberately targeted and killed by Israeli armed forces, more than 8 months after the so-called ceasefire. The list goes on and on, all as we, as Americans, pay for the bombs that do the killing.
You're not an American. You're an Islamist jihadi.
There is a reason the International Criminal Court issued a warrant for his arrest. As human beings, we have spent generations building a shared understanding that there are crimes so grave, they offend all of humanity. Anyone, with their eyes, with their heart, with their conscience, should recognize the devastation he has wrought and understand that he belongs before a court of law.
He hasn't done enough. He's only killed 70,000 people, out of which 40,000 were Hamas operatives. That is less than 1-to-1 ratio, which is the best. You know what? It's not like second or third best. It is the best combatant to civilian ratio. Anywhere by a long shot. America, in Fallujah, it was 2 civilians to 1 combatant ratio. This is less than 1-to-1 by Hamas's own admission, and this jihad is crying over it. Fascinating.
As I've said, I agree with the ICC that Benjamin Netanyahu should be arrested and tried for his crimes.
Yeah, what do you agree with?
As I do for anyone else charged by the ICC. My administration has reviewed every avenue available under applicable law to determine whether New York City could execute the International Criminal Court's arrest
Can't.
warrant if Benjamin Netanyahu came here. It is clear that we do not have the independent legal authority to enforce this warrant. The federal government, however, does. And I call on them to join the ICC
They're not gonna do
and
it.
execute this warrant.
Nope.
And I want to be equally clear. Benjamin Netanyahu is not welcome in New York City.
It's not for you to decide, you mofo. I really hope Benjamin Netanyahu goes there. I really, really hope. And he does this to him. Mamdani.
Or is any other war criminal at large. While we cannot end the genocide on our own, we can decide whether our silence will become another weapon, and we can examine every tool we have to defend the humanity and dignity of all people. That is my commitment to you.
I can't wait for the day when he is kicked out of the office. Guys, what is wrong with our systems and institutions and our democracy, yeah? We know Ilhan Omar is a corrupt, crooked politician. You can't do anything about it. We know this guy is an Islamist jihadi masquerading as a socialist woke to fool the woke lunatics, but we can't do anything about it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we deserve to fall if our democratic institutions fail this stress test. I think all of our Western democracies are undergoing a stress test. Can we withstand these traitors? Can we or can we not? Let me share this quick video. Let me actually get this expert opinion. Can Mamdani arrest Netanyahu in New York City? Actually, no, before that, check this out. Netanyahu issues scathing response to Mamdani's arrest push.
Socialist Mayor Zohran Mamdani pushing to arrest the leader of America's closest Mideast ally, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, when he visits for the UN General Assembly this September.
I believe that Prime Minister Netanyahu belongs in The Hague. He's a war criminal who has been charged by the International Criminal Court. Whatever the law allows me to do in New York City, that's what we will do, but we won't be writing our own laws to that end.
But Bibi is pushing back, writing on X, quote, Mr. Mamdani should focus on fixing the damage his policies have caused New York. Mamdani appears interested in diverting public attention from his follies and attacking the leader of the Jewish state and the only democracy in the Middle East. Former Libertarian presidential candidate Austin Peterson joins me now. Austin, to be clear, the U.S. is not a member of the ICC, which put out this arrest warrant for Benjamin Netanyahu, and federal law prohibits state and local governments, i.e. New York City, from cooperating with ICC requests. So why is Mamdani doing this fake tough guy act anyway?
All we know
That's
is
all
he
he can
knows
do.
it plays well to his base. Good morning, Todd. Good morning, Miss Missouri from Jefferson City. You know, Mamdani's Israel derangement syndrome, this isn't a new obsession, Todd. Back in 2023, at the Democratic Socialists of American Convention, Mamdani told the crowd, when the boot of the NYPD is on your neck, it's been laced by the IDF. The UN ambassador, Mike Waltz, laid out the legal walls that the mayor would have to knock down, and he simply can't because America never signed on to the Rome Statute, like you pointed out. The UN headquarters agreement grants diplomatic protection to visiting heads of government. Head of state immunity applies, and federal authority just frankly outguns the mayor's press conference wish list every time. It turns out that running American foreign policy and running New York City are two different jobs. Who knew, Todd?
Who knew? Well, maybe not this guy. Anti-Israel streamer Hassan Piker delivering a far-left speech to college Democrats, all while dressed in Mao Zedong garb. Watch this.
No more to the Democrats who compromise, who conciliate, and who betray us. No more to the Democrats who will collaborate and cooperate with the fascists, who will fund ICE, who will fund Israel, who will help poison the planet, who will stiff workers and help bosses. We don't need those Democrats anymore. We are coming. We are all.
I thought he was going to say we are commies. These guys are communists. These guys are pretending to be communists. Islamist jihadis. Guys, look, they could be genuinely confused, people like him and Mamdani, because they are the next generation of Islamists. Maybe the Islamists are using them as useful idiots because they know when the push comes to shove, when they have spread anarchy and when they have weakened our institutions, when there's chaos and anarchy, then they know, history tells us, that it's always the Islamists who manage to subdue the communists. So have you ever wondered why there has never been a communist revolution in the Muslim world. Have you ever wondered why? There was a communist party in Bangladesh. There was a communist party in Pakistan. There was a communist party in, it wasn't a communist party, but there was an active movement of communists in Iran. They all got killed off because the Islamists always win. And frankly, it doesn't matter what's in their heart. It doesn't matter. They might be pretending to be communist just to use the far left woke socialist lunatics, or there might be Islamists. I don't know. Frankly, it doesn't matter. Either way, they're extremely dangerous for our Western democracies. I am a full-blown capitalist, and I hate communists with all my heart. With all my heart. Not only because of their terrible communist policies, their economic policies, but also their social values are horrible. Look who they get in bed with. The jihadis. They always become the greatest humanitarians on earth when it comes to defending the human rights of barbarians, of jihadis who want to behead us.
Boss, we're unbought, we're unbound, and we will become undeniable.
Oh, he needs to be denaturalized and deported. Look at this idiot woman. She's wearing a sleeveless top, and she's simping for this guy.
Forget the Democrats, Austin. Shouldn't that clip be in every Republican ad between now and the midterms that this Marxist and people like him, you know, the people clapping there in the audience, want to take over your way of life?
Yeah, the Republicans are loving this stuff, Todd. They want to run on this. It kind of reminds me of that Dwight Schrute clip from The Office when he was doing the speech like he was Mussolini. Communism killed 100 million people, and all we got was that lousy jacket. You know, this guy's cosplaying the guy responsible for the deadliest famine in human history like it's just a fun bit.
Wow.
This is a guy who went to China and said that he felt no ties to America, and then he went on Cuba on a trip whose funding source has him now being subpoenaed by the Treasury Department. This guy isn't a revolutionary. This guy did not come up from the ranks of the proletariat. This guy's a Nepo baby. He Twitch streamed his way into a bigger platform. His uncle, Cenk Uygur, signed all the checks. The guy lives in a $2.7 million West.
Isn't that funny, guys? All of these so-called communists, all these people for the working class, they live in ultimate luxuries. They live in penthouses. They drive the nicest cars. They wear the nicest clothes. But still, they are somehow the voice of the working class. They should be stripped. I have not seen a single socialist communist who is not a hypocrite. Not a single one. Every single one of them. And for some reason, it's always the upper middle class ones who tend to carry the most pain for the working class. It's like, anyway, losers. Look, I've had a gutful of these people. I really do. I don't have any patience for these anymore. I really don't. I say, come on, bring it on. I think it's time. Anyway, I think we're getting there. Look, and we're not responsible for it. These guys are responsible for it. This guy called for the blood of landlords. That's what he said. He said, spill their blood, kill them in the streets. That's what he said. He said America deserved 9/11. They have misplaced loyalties, guys.
Hollywood mansion. Now it's worth north of $3.5 million, I think. And he sits behind a gate so the fans and paparazzi can't get to him. His own defense, when people called out his hypocrisy, he said he'd rather be a rich socialist than a broke person defending capitalism. Well, at least he's honest. The revolution lives behind a gated community, Todd.
It is insane, the hypocrisy that he demonstrates. So the big question is, what are Democrats doing about it? Here's at least two of them.
There's some crazy stuff, you know, when we're cheering for the Intifada and DSA, again, they say things like, you know, takeover of key industries, government. That's communism.
But what does that have to do with supporting Hamas? What does that have to do with putting up candidates who say we should have no police, no prisons, we can't deport anybody, even if they commit rape or murder, Israel shouldn't exist? These are terrible ideas.
Austin, we're running late here, so I need a quick answer. But are the Democrats too late? Has the cancer already overrun the body?
It has.
Oh, for sure. Axios reported this same week, Todd. Republicans are quietly building their whole midterm strategy around this. They're calling this a hate election. They're pointing to the Democrats' Tea Party-like revolt by progressives. This is proof that the party can't govern, and why young people are not only Richard Nixon maxing, as I know you guys have reported here before on Fox and Friends First, but the young people are actually longing for a return of the days of Joseph McCarthy and wondering, did he go far enough?
The problem with that article is Republicans are saying, hey, you may not like us, but they're worse. Republicans need to come up with a better strategy than just that between now and November. Austin, got to leave it there. Thank you, sir.
I really hope that, I know the war in Iran is not very popular. I know that could be damaging for Trump, but I'm really hoping that the Democrats keep exposing their communist ambitions. I really hope that, because the Republicans might not even need to defeat them. The Democrats are going to beat themselves to a defeat. I really hope that. I hate these communist guys. We don't hate them enough. They have brought nothing but death and destruction and misery to people. The very people they try to champion human rights of. Horrible people. It's the worst nightmare. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that communism will make a comeback after the fall of the Soviet Union? Who would have thought?